everyone. So, welcome. And in this conversation today that we are having, I have an amazing author sitting with me who has written a book which is Cloud Computing for Everyone. And this is not just a book because it has also won Golden Book Awards 2026. So, it's an interesting book, and I'm so glad that I could find this author to have here with me present in Pune to have this discussion, and he has flown all the way from Norway to have this discussion. So welcome, Rohit, and I'm so glad that you could make it to this conversation today. So thank you so much, and congratulations on winning Golden Book Award for this book.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm happy to be here. It was a long flight, but still, I would love to fly anywhere to talk about my book. So
Great, wonderful. So just to start with, what this book is all about.
So this book is about one of the emerging technology called cloud computing. It gives you a peek on what cloud computing is, how you can use them, and how you're using it right now. I don't know, even a 10-year-old is using it and you don't know it. And how a student can use it, learn from it for their future work that they want to do, and how a business person can use it for their businesses. Like the title says, Cloud Computing for Everyone. It does not just cater to one part of the people. It's for everyone, be it a non-technical person, be it a student, a high school going student, a student studying in college, or a business professional, IT professional. It's for everyone. How the book came into being, I can explain that a little bit. So the primary reason to write this book was for students in bachelor's and master level. And this book was supposed to be adapted into a course. It came from a course at UIT, the Arctic University of Norway, where I'm a researcher there right now. And it has been used now as a course from last year onward as a course material. And along with helping them understand cloud computing better, of course, to pass them the exams, but also to help them cloud computing better and use that in their future. It's also for businesses to adapt or introduce cloud computing in their business, understanding why you should first introduce that. And second, so that their businesses become faster, they save cost, the latency is very low, and their services are highly available to customers. So that is the whole motive of the book.
Let's talk about the businessmen, right? So how they can use this into their day-to-day operations, or maybe into the growth and the strategizing?
That's a very interesting question, because if you look at businesses, right, what they do is, if you don't use cloud computing, what should you do? So the way you go is that you buy a bunch of resources in terms of servers where you will store your data.
Right.
Of course, you write your application logic of the applications, and then you maintain the connectivity, like it is connected with the server, it is connected with wherever there is networking concepts, and many more, right? Now you need to hire people for that. So you need to hire people to manage the network, to manage the server. And why you need to do that is that, let's say you are an avid user of that application. You'd like that applications to be available to you 24/7. You wake up at 2 in the morning and it's not available. What would you do, right? That's not a good user experience. With cloud computing, based on what you choose, you then do not need to take care of, let's say, the networking part of it. You do not need to take care of the servicing part of it, the server part of it, that the storage and everything, right? So someone else is doing it for you, making sure that your system is available 24/7 to you first. Second, also consider that you made your application here in Pune, your server is in Pune, and you are serving it in Norway. The latency, the time it takes for me to reach that application or services that you're offering might be higher, which is not a good experience for me. If you use cloud computing, let's say from Google, for example, they have server all over the world. your application might be available. You can choose it to be available in that part of the world too, as an endpoint, right? So now the distance for that application to travel from here to, say, Norway is very high, but with cloud computing, it might be just traveling within from one region of Norway to another, which makes it very, like, latency becomes very low. It becomes faster. Another reason why a business would want to use cloud computing would be to consider the situation if I don't want that to happen, but let's say something happens in Pune. Let's say there is a fire and the server is gone. What do you do now? Your business is down now. But if it's in cloud computing, what happens is that your application logic, your data is distributed in various places in the world. So even if one region faces some calamity or some unfortunate incidents, still there are other places where your business logic, your data is available, and that can be used. So it also helps in safeguarding your business in that, if I have to say so. So that's how it helps business professionals. And nowadays, a lot of people are using it. Also the cost, right? Because if you have your own server, consider there are 100 people who are using the server right now, right? The application. And in the age of social media, things can become popular so fast. Like with those dolls, if you have heard of it, within a day, a celebrity used it and then it exploded and everyone wants it now. So it's the same with application. It can explode anytime and everyone would want to use it. You as a business you can maybe, but it is difficult to identify what can be the requirement of your business in near future, right? So if you had 100 users and now it is 1 million, how do you cater to them? You can't.
Right.
The only way you can cater to them is that you already think that there will be 1 million and you buy servers for them beforehand. This is going to cost you. Even if like you have 100 users, you're paying for 1 million. But with cloud computing, you can scale it without having to pay anything beforehand. You pay as you scale because the giants like Google and they already has that amount of server to cater. So that's how it helps.
Right. And it's again about the real estate costs as well, because to maintain those kind of servers inside a place, you need first the real estate, a big giant place, and plus people as well, yes, on your roles or maybe outsourced roles to look after them. And there could be technical, as you said, errors in the technical crash downs sometime, which totally hampers your
that's true.
Okay, wonderful. So if the business wants to move from what they are doing at the moment to the cloud computing, what they exactly have to do?
I think nowadays it has become very easy to do that. They need to identify their needs. First of all, just transferring without understanding why you need to transfer is not a viable option. Like I gave you an example, right? Let's say there's a business whose focus is only on Pune, who doesn't have that much clients and knows that they don't need it. Their server is there that will help them. Maybe then you do not need to move it. So there is a thing called migration strategy. In the migration strategy, you first find out if you should even move it, right? So once that is done and you are sure that you want to move it, figuring out the cost and everything, then what you do is you identify which vendor you want, right? That's the second step, and identifying that, okay, does Google gives me a better option? Does Azure, like Amazon, gives me a better option, or Microsoft gives me a better option? So you identify that first. Once you identify, because you have the offering, how much they will cost, once you know that, then you start building your next steps of building or transitioning your system from the physical on-site to the cloud, right? So in that, what changes would be, for example, your application logic, right? If it was written just for the on-site physical servers, you might need to change some things there so that it becomes compatible with the cloud part of it. You also, of course, you need an expert who is in cloud computing to do that.
Right.
You identify what is, like, you define the skill sets. For example, what you think might be might be the amount of load you may need in future. So you identify that and you say that, okay, if I get more load, scale it. So you do that. You figure out your networking, saying that, okay, this was my networking. I want to give it to them. How do I change that, right? So it won't take a lot of time for them to migrate. What they need to figure out is what all changes they need to do in the code. Right now, with what the technology is going, I don't think there is a lot for you to change. But let's say you have even one person who is proficient in cloud, they should be able to change it. So it's easy. Once you find out you have to migrate, you should be able to do it fast.
Right.
And it's all in the book. How do you do migration strategies? What are the steps and all?
Yeah, wonderful. So I was about to ask you. So once someone get a hold of this book, whether he or she, the audience, the readers would be able to get the answers that how, why, and what is the purpose? Will it suit me as a person? So will I be able to find the answers in the book?
Yes, definitely you can find it. And it doesn't matter if you're a business person, you can be anyone and you'll find those answers. We cover in a stepwise that should you do migration? Once, if you have to do migrations, why should you do migrations, right? And how you can do it. Even we have like case studies. So this book is not only theoretical, it's practical in the sense that we have taken an example, let's say, of a research group. I'm taking a very simple examples which a lot of people will be doing, right? So consider a small company or a small research group. They have their own server they work with, right? And they have their team, and the server is then maintained by the, let's say in UIT, we have a network administrator who maintains it. So you can determine the cost of what it is taking to maintain there. Now, let's say I choose Google Cloud and I see for the same amount of server, for the same, let's say, petabyte of storage and other things, what is the cost they are charging, right? And in that sense, I don't have to maintain anything, right? And now I'm considering that, let's say, the physical server has a life of 5 years, right? So what is the cost I'm bearing for those 5 years, and what is the cost if I use cloud computing for those 5 years, which is cheaper, right? So that's how you identify. So we have covered everything. So if you read a book, you will identify. In fact, like I said, right, this book was written primarily for bachelor's and master's students. So one of the students who took the course at UIT read the book, and they said that it definitely helped in passing the course, understanding the technology, but more than that, it helped them create their own, like they had the idea of an application to create and then deploy it in cloud, which was very nice to know, because as a student, if you are able to do it, definitely as a business person who has a business, they will be easily able to do it.
Right. So are there any hiccups in terms of migration, people resisting going from this to cloud, the process? Because it's like completely a change management, right? So in businesses or in the real life, people like are resistant for the change management. So have you come across some case studies where people find it difficult for this particular migration happening?
So if you consider what might be the hiccup, right? One thing can be people might think of security, because then the data is not, of course, it's with them, but it's also with the cloud providers, right? But there are two ways to look at it with respect to security, right? So, for example, you are a business owner who then you need to secure your application and your data. What you have done now is transfer that security part to the cloud provider, and they, having such a scale, might do a better job than you in terms of security, right? They can manage it much better.
Right.
But as a business owner, you are very protective of what you are doing, right? So that might be a psychological thing that, okay, maybe the privacy is gone, that the data is also with others, but the way things are going, the way safeguards are in place, even if you go to cloud migration, your data is safe and it's privately, the privacy is preserved. So that might be one thing. The second might be cost, right? Because a lot of people don't know about cloud computing. So the way they think is that, okay, if I outsource it, if I give it to some cloud provider, the cost would be high. It may be high, like I explained. You need to find out the maths of, okay, how much it will cost you, right? So once you do that, and then you decide if you want to move out or not. The benefit would be that, again, the availability, the scaling, which you don't find at the when it comes to maintaining your own. So these are some of the hiccups. But I would like to say that even like big companies, right, they also use cloud computing nowadays. They have their private, but along with that, what a lot of bigger companies do is that they use private, public, and hybrid, where they're like, okay, we will have it in public also, we'll have it in private
Maybe
also.
some data they'll keep it.
Yes,
the
maybe
segregations of the.
they think that something is very sensitive and they don't want it to give it to cloud the providers. They want to keep it in house, so they have it. So you decide on how you want to do what or you want to do, and hiccups are, I think it's more psychological. But there are some, of course, there are some, like I gave you example, the legacy. If your code is very old, right, which might not fit with what the current ones require, that might be a problem, because then you have to rewrite everything. So again, you need to identify the cost, that if I rewrite it, how much cost it will take, and is it worth it? So you have to identify the pros and cons in that.
Right. And this is where the book will be handy enough
Yes.
to solve the basic understanding and to give us the answers that
Yes, true.
do I actually need it at the moment, or
Yeah.
what are the integrities involved into it?
Exactly. Once you identify that, of course, owning a business is a huge thing. You will not just close your eyes and move from one part to another. So you need to identify everything as to what changes I'm looking for the bad and the good, right? Once you do that, so this book is going to help you with that, identifying might be shortcomings of your system right now, and is it even required for you to overcome that shortcomings, right? Every business has some sort of shortcomings,
Right.
and not all of them needs to be addressed. So you identify that, and then you decide if you want to do that.
The biggest problem which I see is, again, I think it is psychological, or what, you are the best person to tell us. The privacy issue, as in the some very private data or something might get leaked, or since like it could be hacked. There might be people having this particular inhibitions inside of being hacked, or what if the cloud server get hacked, so what will I do?
I completely agree with you. So one of the thing that I saw was hybrid, right? So you have your private, and then there is public, which is the cloud providers, right? And if you think that the data is too sensitive for me to put it in cloud provider, keep it in your private. That's one way. But to argue with your point, right, the hacking can also be done for your own system, right? So you need to put some safeguards, you need to provide some guidelines and make sure that these are not hacked. So if you have in-house, you need to hire someone to do that. Again, it will cost you, and you can't even say that it won't be hacked.
Right.
The same goes for the cloud providers. The difference is that they have more resources to make sure that things do not go bad, but no one can give you 100% guarantee. We hear very often that some like bigger companies, the data is leaked, someone has hacked it. That happens, but if that is the case, maybe have some servers with you where you keep it. Those data you can easily divert the data set, saying that I don't want to keep it in cloud, but I would like to keep it in private, and that can be done. I don't think, depends on what is your use case.
So are banking companies also transitioning toward cloud, or they are still, I mean, it's a long way to go?
I think they're transitioning, but again,
again the
same logic helps, right?
Yes.
It will take time, but with the resources, with the things, how fast they're going on, if they haven't transitioned, they will transition, right, as soon as possible. Because see, you again, the same thing, consider UPI, right? It's so fast, right? If you want to maintain it being fast, you need to be available everywhere. And how do you do that? So you use cloud computing, but again, the question comes of privacy. Are you sure, like, what kind of data would you like to keep in computing and what not? So that a call the business owners has to take.
Correct.
And then they will decide. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, talking about the book, if anyone wants to buy this book, what they have to do?
It is available in some online, offline stores. I like one thing that we got to know a few days ago is that it is now available in Oxford in Delhi store. So that's huge for us. And but yes, if you want to buy, it's very easy. Just go to Google and type cloud computing for everyone. If you don't find it, maybe type the author's name Rohit Agarwal, but you will find it. And it is available in Amazon and also through the publisher BPB.
Right.
So you can find it there through their website too. So yeah, these are the places.
Right. And are you also open to providing guidance to people who want to know more about it or want to take consulting guidance on this particular topic?
I'm not sure about the consulting part of it because I'm too deep into research right now with my work, right? But of course, since the whole purpose of writing the book is to impart knowledge to others, right?
True.
With what I have experienced. So always open to guidance. They can contact me on LinkedIn. And I'm available there, so I can help them out with whatever I can.
Yes.
So that's all this is.
Great. And how has been this experience of becoming an author? So now you are an author after getting the book published. So how does that feel?
Okay, so this is two part of it, right? One is being an author till writing the book. That's a different part, which is a story in themselves. But after I became an author, first of all, I can't believe it that I'm an author because I'm a first time author. I never thought that I will write a book to more than 250 pages.
Right.
That's unthinkable for me. When I wrote the book, I did not have any expectations out of it. The whole purpose was that, okay, it will be used by students to read it, maybe some businesses to understand their needs and all. But I never thought that, okay, I'll get a reward, right? Award for it. I never thought that this will be covered by newspapers because it was covered by newspapers. One achievement I would say for me would be that I'm based out in Norway, right? So of course this book is available in Norway. It's available in India since it is published by BPB and they are based out of India. But I got to know that in Singapore, there are like 20 public libraries, I think, and the book is available in all the libraries. And out of which, in some of them, it has been rented out. So it's not available right now. They have to wait, which means that people are reading it apart from students too. And that's huge for me because I never thought that this can happen.
Right.
And add on top of that various students saying, like I explained, right, that it is helping them apart from their course studies. Very happy, very grateful to be honest, and very happy.
Great. So any next edition or any other book in pipeline?
Not right now. The thing that has happened with this book is that I have become confident enough that I can write another book.
Right.
I think I will write a book, but which book, when, what, how? I have
Nothing planned at the moment.
Not planned at the moment, not planned. But maybe in few years, hopefully I'll write something.
Right. So this is such an interesting topic and it's the need of the hour. So probably it's best that it should reach to the maximum number of people and maximum people should get benefit out of it as much as possible. So that would be great if people can come to you. So how does that feel now, getting so much of recognition about this book? And again, as I said, this book winning Golden Book Awards 2026. So how does that feel?
Surreal. I'm very delighted, like, to know, and to be honest, I did not even knew about Golden Book Awards. I never knew how to write a book, so I can't expect to know about this award, right? And when Dilip told me that, hey, the book is shortlisted for this, and I was like, no, you're joking, right? Like no, it's shortlisted, and hopefully will win, and you should go and attend this. So I can't put words to it. Like, even my mom, right? I have many papers written. She never asks that. And I travel for conference. She never says that, hey, get me a photo or anything. But for this, she was like, you have to get some videos. You have to give me some photos. I really want that.
Great.
So even I don't know. I don't know how to express it. But I'm very happy.
Wonderful. And may you achieve all the great heights, keep getting a lot of accolades for your book. And because, as I said, it is the need of the hour that needs to be reached to maximum number of people. So, viewers, as discussed, where to find this book? You can go on the Amazon link and the other links on the description box. Click on the link and that will take you directly to the book page from where you can buy the book, purchase the book, read it, and hope to apply it on your business or whatever requirements you have. And how to connect to the author? The link to connect to the author, his LinkedIn profile link is mentioned in the description box. Again, you can go through that, and if you have any query, you can drop a message to the author directly. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much, Rohit, for coming here and talking with us on this book. So thank you so much, and thank you.
Thank you for having me.